Hey, Natsu here. This is going to be a new what if that I'm going to start. This will be part 1 of what if Gon from Hunter x Hunter ate a devil fruit. In the anime, Mito, Gon's aunt, said that he could only go do the hunter exam if he was able to catch a certain fish. She left him 2 weeks. Let's say that during the first day, after a while, he decided to try and find some fruit to eat because he wasn't able to catch the fish. So he went looking. He found a weird looking fruit while looking in a tree. Normally the fruit on that tree weren't bad, so he didn't think really about it and just tried it. And he, after swallowing it, he just said, "Oh, it's bad. I shouldn't continue eating that," and chew it. So after a while, he went back to fishing and tried to catch the fish. At a certain point, it actually grabbed on and gone, while since he didn't know that the fruit he ate changed his body, the moment the fish pulled, his arm stretched a bit. Quite a bit, actually. And he got scared by that for a while. Well, surprised more, but just like in the anime, the line broke, so he had to go back to get a new fishing line. While going back, he was thinking how his body did that and why it did. So he started trying to see if he could do it again by throwing punches or stuff like that. I'm gonna say it right now. Compared to a normal human, Gon is already pretty much stronger than most adults. So I would say that his body is capable of taking quite a bit of stretching compared to a normal human like Luffy did when he ate it. Since the fruit's capacity to stretch is directly bounded to the strength of the person that actually uses it. So Gon is actually capable of stretching about 5 meters before his arm stops. If he would go further, his arm would kind of tear up, which wouldn't be good. He doesn't know that, but he saw that his arm stopped at around 5 meters, so he just thought, okay, that's how far I can go. So after that, he just kind of continued trying to catch the fish up until the last day where his grandmother decided to give him the fishing rod, which he actually used to get the fish. Like in the anime after that, things happened. He goes on the boat and leaves for the exam. Just like in the anime, there's going to be a storm and the crewmate is about to fall off the boat. This time, instead of actually jumping to catch him like he did in the anime, he jumped and stretched his arm, while Leorior and Kurapika grabbed his legs. They saw him stretch to grab the crewmate, and they were kind of surprised. Mostly Leorio that was kind of scared because he knew normal body couldn't do that. So he was mostly scared of what happened. After the crewmate was back on the ship and that everyone got back inside and that the storm passed, Leorio and Kurapika would ask him what he did, which Gon would probably just respond that since for about 2 weeks his body was able to stretch practically any part of him, and he wasn't hurt by most physical thing anymore, like falling or getting hit for some reason, and they just thought it was really weird. So they kind of just tried to see what if they could do it, and they tried punching him after he said it was okay. Basically, his body just kind of stretched back, and they were surprised by that. After a while, they got to the mainland where they get off the boat, and the same exchange happened with Leorio wanting to go by the bus and Kurapika and going somewhere else instead to talk with someone. All the way from that part to the point where they are in the city and that the old person, well, the group of person told them, well, asked the question. Everything in that point happens the same actually for, well, since there's nothing really that he would do to actually need stretch. So after they let them pass and that they get to the house next to the big tree, and well, a lot of things happens, everything that happens in the anime. They see the girl that is on the ground, the boy I mean, the girl that is being taken by the monster, quotation marks. Kurapika saving the girl, Oreo staying with the boy to help with his injuries. And the big difference is that Gon is actually catching up to the monster a bit more because of his stretching. He actually almost catch it twice. Once it escapes and that the other one takes his place, about the same thing happens with Gon, saying that they look different and that they sound different. When they all get back together, pretty much everything happens the same. So after a while, one of the monsters takes them to the exam area, where after entering the building and going through everything, they go on the ground and meet Killua. At this point, Killua is just a normal boy for them, or that's what they think, at least. After a while, the exam starts, and both Killua and Gon start talking, like in the anime. They start being friends, and it continues for a while like that, and the way until they get to the exit. At the exit, everything happens around the same. Everything is okay up until the point where they have to run. In the forest for a while, while they were running, at some point, let's say both of them just kind of falls down, and both Gon and Killua see a fruit. It's weird, but compared to everything else, it doesn't seem actually dangerous. So Gon just takes it with him, and because he remembers that before getting his stretchiness, he ate a fruit that looked a bit weird too, with the same swirly patterns. So he took it with him. Killua saw that and kind of just thought it was weird. After that, everything happens the same, with Lirio being punched down by Hisoka, everyone that died, everyone that tried to fight others, all the way up to the front of the gate for the food exam. At that place, I would say that Killua asked Gon what was the deal for the fruit, and Gon explains to him that on the island where he comes from, he found a fruit about the same things 2 weeks before he left. It looked different and with a different shape and color, but it was about the same swirly pattern that was on it. And he just thought it was weird, so he took it with him because, well, if a fruit that looked a bit like that gave him powers, it would be fun to see what would happen with another one. Unknown to him, he ate one of the only three fruits that devil fruits in the world. Him is the gum gum fruit. The fruit he has is a fruit that he didn't know what it was. He didn't even know what he had. He just thought it was neat or something like that. And Killua asked if he could eat it. Gon told him that his tasted horrible and that he's not sure if it's even safe to eat. And then Killua tells him that he's immune to every poison or rotten things, so it won't do a thing to him. So Gon accepts. After eating it, he didn't feel anything else. Gon told him to try and stretch his arm, which Killua tries, but nothing really happens with that. So they kind of just leave it at that it was different. Then the same thing happens for the pork cooking exam, the girls saying that they all failed, the old geezer coming in to save the time, and everything up until the point where they have to take the eggs from the, I don't remember the species, sorry. But yeah, the eggs that are in the crevice on the mountain. At that place, let's say that Gon and Killua both jump first. Everyone does the same, and that, just like in the anime, everyone that jumped at the same time that Gon and Killua got the eggs. The only difference is that, let's say that when the wind pushed them back, well, no, actually everything happens the same, I would say, even for that part, all the way up to in the balloon where Netero, that's the name, tells them that he wants to play a game with them, and that if they're able to catch the ball from him, they would be able to get their license automatically. This is where it's going to be different. So Killua starts by doing the same thing with the walk, then trying to get it over and over again, and at some point, when he jumped to try and get it, he just kind of changed form and changed it to a cheetah or a leopard. Cheetah. One of the two. I'm gonna put it in the description, probably, for the clarification. But yeah, he changed into a big cat that was white with black spots. And both Netero and Gon were surprised. Netero asked him what he did, and Killua just kind of responded, "I don't know, I just changed." Netero was surprised but said, "Well, if you want we can continue, we still have time." So then Gon told Killua, "Wait, I wanna take my turn before you continue. You look really fast in that form. So, can you change back?" Then Killua just kind of looks back and tries to transform, which he does pretty easily. Then he says, "Wait, that's probably what happened for me with the fruit that I ate." Netero, intrigued, asked, "What do you mean by fruit that you ate?" Then both Gon and Killua told him about the fruits and what happens with them. Except that Gon doesn't tell him what he can do yet. So Netero says, "Well, you said you wanted your turn now. Why don't you try and get the ball from me?" So Gon goes around and tries to get it, and at some point he almost gets it. Except that at that point, the only reason he was able to do that was because he stretched his arm just far enough to almost touch the ball, which Netero was surprised about. Sorry about that. And then he said, "So that's what you meant by powers that you got from a fruit. So he can stretch and he can change into a big cat. That's interesting. So, do you want to continue?" And both of them start to try and get it more and more and more. But compared to in the anime, I would say that at some point, both of them took him by surprise, and Gon would have been able to catch Netero and stop him from moving just enough for Killua to take the ball, which would then make Netero give them both their their license before anything happened. So Illumi doesn't get to torture Gon. Let's say that in the tower later everything happens the same, differently, but just good enough so that Leoyer and Kurapika are able to pass, just like for the island afterward. I would say, no. Let's say that Gon and Killua ask if they can at least finish the exam for that. They would Netero accepted and tell them that they at least still get it no matter if they lose or win or lose, since they got the ball. I know a lot of people would probably say that it wouldn't be like that, but let's just say he was surprised by that because Killua was a lot faster in his cat form. And since Gon could stretch, he was able to at least stop Netero from moving a bit. So, in the in the tower, about everything happens practically the same. Neither of them show their powers in it, all the way up to the end where they start digging, where killua actually used since he tried to see during the rest of the night if he could do something else, he found his half form. So in that, when they destroyed the wall, he used that instead, which saved them a bit of time. So they arrived a little previously to what they did, like 2 or 3 minutes only. In the next part of the exam, they are sent on an island with each of them having a badge. While going there, yeah. While going there, they tell Kurapika and Leorio that even if they lose, they get their license because of the game they played. Only those two heard it, so it wasn't really a big deal for everyone else, but Kurapika and Leorio were surprised of that. On the island, I would say pretty much everything happens the same, since, well, both Gon and Killua decided to say, let's not use our powers for this part. I would just say that for difficulty up, since we all know that they're gonna make it anyway. So everyone that passed, everything happened around the same, and the change is going to be mostly here. After that point where they get to choose who they want to fight or not, and that they go for the tournament, since Gon and the ninja guy are first, I would say that the difference is since Gon's body can literally bend in any way while stretching, none of his bones are broken. Everything that happens, but the bones aren't broken. He just gets hurt a lot. So at some point, Gomes gets knocked out, and he passes. Right before someone says that he gets his license, Nitro said, well, he was already going to get it, no matter what. Everyone is surprised, and then they ask what happened. And he says, well, him and someone else played a game against me, and they won. And I promised them their license if they won. For the rest of the battles, well, everything happens the same, all the way till Illumi shows himself and pushes Killua to kill someone. Killua left without his license because he killed someone. He was still going to get it, but Illumi just forced him to go away. So when Gon wakes up, everything happens around the same, except that he doesn't have a broken arm. Then, before he leaves that place, the animators told Gon that if he's going to get his friend to at least give him his license and pass it to Gon, since he has already won it. So this is a big part that's going to be changed for later. Killua won't have to pass the exam a second time. So after that, pretty much everything happens the same, with asking the guy with the computer to look for Gon's father, Yin, which he finds nothing about. The animator of the first event almost telling Gon about game. Then Gon, Killua, and not Killua, Kurapika and Leorio leaving to get to the mountain where Killua went. While at that going there, the only difference I would have is that, well, no, even that I would say he's not even going to show his devil fruit powers, just because he doesn't want to show them something he can do. He didn't even show it to Illumi, so that's something that he's keeping secret. Then, after a while, Kurapika, Leorio, and Gon gets to the mountain and talk to the gatekeeper about Killua. Everything happens about the same. On the way up to the point where Gon, Kurapika, and Leorio starts training. Since Gon doesn't have his arm broken, he's able to train a lot more. And so he gets a bigger boost. Only like 1.2 times stronger. For the strength he have, it's not that big, but it's still good. It won't put him anywhere near any of the enemy and the 3 dudes that tried to battle him, but in the tower. But it's still good. So when they push the door and pass, everything happens the same up until the girl that's blocking the path to get to Killua. Every time she hits Gon, the difference is that he isn't really hurt that much by it. It just kind of bounces off. So he doesn't have the blocky eye that block his view. And when they play the game with Goto and the other 3 guys, he doesn't have to cut open to remove blood, and he wins faster. And then they leave. I'm going to end this part. No, you know what? I'm going to continue. After that, Leorio and Kurapika goes their separate way. Gon and Killua stays together, and they go to the tower. I don't remember the name of it, but they go there. And on their way there, Killua asks something. He asks Gon if he can transform or do stuff like that, or if he can just stretch. Gon tells him all he can do is stretch, so it's not that impressive. It is different, but it's not that bad. He can tank pretty much a lot of hits into it, and his bones won't break since they kind of just stretch and bend. In the tower, I would say that they meet the other 2 guys pretty much the same, and every battle, the battles literally doesn't change since all Killua did was do a chop to the neck and Gon pushed with his hands. So they get to a certain point, and then I'm going to end it here actually. The next video, I don't know when it's gonna come out, but it shouldn't be that long. Hope you like it. It's literally the third video on my channel only. And yeah, Natsu out.